So I'm just in the garage and I thought I'd give you a quick update on where we're at with things. So as you can see, I've got a second bench now, so I've got plenty of workspace for the CX650 project, and still got the engine on this one, of course. We need to get to the tear down of this and start to look at the frame. That's going to probably come in the next video, so we're only one video away from this now, because the big job, of course, is getting the rat bike MOT'd, which is over there. So I really wanted to show you my trailer contraption. These are really good if you're limited for space, like if you live in an apartment or something, or you just don't have a driveway or anywhere you can store a trailer. These front wheel dollies are perfect. If you've got a tow bar, you just take the ball end off and you bolt all this on, and you don't have to sort of unbolt the whole thing each time. I'll show you, because that back piece that the wheel sits in, the actual dolly, just lifts out, and then of course you've got the tie down bars. Perfect. You can see it needs a ramp to get the front wheel up onto it, and I just used a couple of car ramps which did the job perfectly, straight up and on. Now the only trick is, depending on the size of your wheel, of course, it won't just sit in and hold itself up, so it hasn't really got a wheel chock. You're going to have to hold the bike whilst strapping it down. But all I did was, I'll do this one-footed. All I did was put the side stand down and stuck one of the wheel ramps under it, and it just held it upright whilst I got the straps on, and it was absolutely the easiest thing to do. Bought these straps from Class Olson a few years ago. They've served me well, because I did have a motorcycle trailer, but I got rid of it because whilst I've got a garage and a drive and a garden and loads of space, it would take up too much room. And these things, you could just you know, just unhitch them and sling them in the garage somewhere, or just in your hallway. It all comes to pieces, so it's not all, you know, one big contraption. It all comes very easily to pieces. There's three big pieces. You've got the main bit there, which just slots in. You've got the centre bit, which bolts onto where your tow ball would be bolted, and then of course you've got the tie down bars, which just bolt in, so it condenses really well. So I just need to go and get this MOT'd, and then we really can concentrate on this CX650 project, because I've had that bike now since October. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the engine in one piece for now, and that can stay over there. So I think the plan of attack, once I've MOT'd and sold the rat bike, is firstly to take the rolling chassis apart, tank off, seat, wheels, shocks, all of it. Basically just to break it down to its components, and then I can properly inspect this frame. I've shown a couple of times the rust, but it's a question of how bad it is. So I'll show the engine, hang on a second, and then you'll get what I mean. Right, so you're looking at the rear of the engine, and you've got a mount there, a mount there, a mount there, and a mount there. Okay? On the frame, all the metal on this side, absolutely 100%, same here, and it's down here where there's the rust. So you've got one corner of the four engine mounts that are a bit of a problem, and that's this corner here. That's the swing arm, and the rust doesn't come up that far. From what I can see, from what limited view I've got at the moment, all of that is solid from there upwards. All round the back of here is solid. This is like a double skin mount. That's the actual mount there. So you can see you've got the one corner there to the other side. This is the mount that's the problem. Okay. and it's all this section down here that's rusty. So I think I can just cut this side, grind this side out, and just weld it up. That's the swing arm, absolutely fine. Nothing there as far as I can see from the limited view I've got, but getting the frame out will tell me more. The back of this is going to completely come off anyway, all of this, because I think I'm going to use the existing bit of frame under the seat, put a hoop on the back, weld my own sort of mount, you know, stay across there, and then put like a tracker tile style seat on it with a hoop on the back, that kind of thing. So the only bit of damage I think I've got to repair is just this here, and I think that is just very one-sided. From, as I said, from what I can see, it's fine the other side. The only other issue, and again I've got to get it all to have a look at, is all of the shock mounting. That could be an issue. But again, that, I think that end there, that's the end of the bit that goes across that the shock mounts to there. But again, behind here, absolutely solid. That's all fine under there. So I think it is just looks a lot worse than it is. But once I've got it all apart and had a proper look at it, it could be absolutely pants. So what's going to stay then? The wheels, hopefully most of the frame, and I'll turn it into a tracker, the tank, probably get different bars. I may look into doing an M unit on the electrics, and for me, this bike is all about the engine. It really is. It's the 650 ED, and as part of this build series, this is going to get stripped completely down, so you'll get to see the inner workings of the CX650. Stripped down, cleaned up, rebuilt, freshly painted. Parts could be an issue. I'm not the sort that will go taking, you know, thousands of measurements and re-sleeving and re-boring and re-honing and re-bearings and all that kind of stuff. If it works now, it'll work again. If it wasn't blowing out smoke to start with, it'll be fine. The clocks show about 30,000 miles from memory. But let me spin it around if I can without causing too many problems. I just want to show you. So you can see you've just got these two little engine mounts here. Actually, sorry, they're mounts for the one of the rails that carries water, and the actual cover bits are missing. When I bought it, I was told it was a complete bike. Obviously, those bits might be in one of the boxes somewhere, but I haven't found them so far. Honda don't make them anymore. You can't get them from David Silver Spares. You could buy a crappy old, you know, I could buy another, even a CX500 engine for 100 quid and just cannibalise it. Might not be a bad idea. We'll sell the whole thing on again. Easy to do. But parts are difficult to get hold of, I think, for these engines. Things like, it has a mechanical seal, and they can be tricky, apparently, to get the exact right size. Things like these little covers, need to replace these. Can't remember if it's this one or the... That's obviously the inspection hole. There's one... No, the inspection hole, I think it's the other side. One of those is cracked and it doesn't fit, so I need to replace little things like that anyway. But I'll do that once I've pulled this little baby apart, and I'm happy that this project is a goer. But I'll be able to sell so much of this. I mean, there's just absolutely tons of stuff here that I'm not going to reuse. Even things like the seat. You know, an enduro seat, you can just recover it, so someone will pay 20-30 quid for that and make use of it. Centre stand, not going to use that. Lots of stuff on there I'm not going to use. And all the bits that I've got under you know, air boxes, things like that, headlamps, and all of the like the rear pod indicator array, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely tons of stuff that's going to probably not be required. When you look at how rusty this full exhaust system is, I don't think it's got any blowholes or anything like that, but nothing we couldn't sort out, but it's quite poor. Well, it's knocking on 40 years old, and I literally went around it with a bit of oil and engine oil, and it just really cleaned up, so you can imagine that would come up quite nice. I mean, not perfect, but nice enough, usable. So that's where we're at. So just time to MOT this one and move it on, and then we can crack on with the CX650. I don't think there's anything the MOT tester's not going to like. There's a bit of a cluster muck of wiring down there, but you know, who knows? As long as he thinks it's safe, we'll be golden. So that's it for today. Hopefully by the time I put the next video up, I'll have the rat bike MOT'd and sold and out of the workshop, and then I can crack on properly with the CX650 build. And I can honestly say at this stage I don't have a clue what it's going to look like in terms of finished final style, seating, exhausts, colour schemes, originality, or just completely wild. I don't know. It's not going to be rad. It's going to be more like sort of tracker style cafe racer anyway. So any ideas, anything you want to suggest, any hints and tips, stick a comment down below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.